Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to share a little update on the garden. Today I wanted to show you something that I've done with the beans that I planted. I've really enjoyed planting and growing beans this year. I've grown a lot of different kinds. Green beans, which we eat a lot of green beans here, so I've enjoyed that. Lima beans, and I'm going to show you a special video about that today. I planted a ton of lima beans, and I had an idea all summer long, was looking forward to trying this idea out. I planted lima beans last year, and it was just it was a lot of work to shell all those lima beans. They're great to have because you can dry them and they store pretty much indefinitely. You can keep dried lima beans for years, and so you can eat on them for a long time. And I planted even more lima beans this year than I did last year, and I was thinking I have an idea for how I want to shell those beans, see if it's going to work, and it did. So I'm excited to share that with you in this video. Other beans that we planted, my wife really likes field peas, and so we planted field peas for the first time. And I grew those on a trellis, which you can see back here in the background. And that was really fun to grow Red Ripper field peas on that arch trellis. That's working really good, and I'm still harvesting field peas off of that. We grew something new this year, which was zipper cream peas. And those are probably the best tasting peas that we've grown. And of course, we also grew black-eyed peas, which is something that we have eaten through the years. And those worked out pretty good too. Those are probably, if I was going in order, I would say the zipper cream peas are our favorite, then the Red Ripper peas, and then the black-eyed peas. So those have been fun to grow, and I've enjoyed shelling them by hand. Usually we'll pick enough for about 2 meals, let them dry for 24 hours, and then just sit on the couch, watch the news, watch something on YouTube or something like that. And for about an hour, I'll just hand shell them. But we had so many lima beans that was just not going to work. So I have a new plan for that, and I want to show you that in the video today. And this technique would probably also work for the field peas, the black-eyed peas, and the cream peas. Any kind of southern pea, cow pea, I think it would work for. So maybe next year I'll try that. I may even try it this year if I get enough of those up that it's just too much to shell. But growing beans and peas is a great way to provide extra food for your family because 1, you get a lot, 2, they taste great, 3, you can dry them and store them indefinitely, or 4, you can just throw them in the freezer and they're there and ready to go. And beans are something that are a source of protein, they're a source of carbohydrates. So really, it's a staple meal. If you had to survive off of just beans, you pretty much could. They give you the caloric intake that you need and the protein that you need, and they're full of good minerals and stuff as well. So they're good survival food to have. They're fun to grow, easy to grow, and they taste great too. So I'm going to show you today how I rigged up an automatic shelling machine to shell my lima beans. I have a bucket and a lid, and in the lid I have a hole. So I'm just going to take my threshing bit gonna put it through that hole in the lid, and then that's gonna go inside the bucket. And then this is we're gonna put the lima beans in here, and then the bucket just like that, and then hopefully that is going to shell our dried lima beans. All right, so we're going to try this with the drill. We fill the bucket full of dried, unshelled lima beans. And we're going to use this to try to shell them. Well, definitely shelled a lot of them. So, next step is to separate the empty shells from the actual beans. All right, that worked pretty good. We've got air blowing all these lighter, empty shells away, while the beans that are already shelled are remaining in here. The only problem here is that I probably didn't run the drill long enough, because some of these didn't shell. Good news about that is because they still are heavy, they didn't blow away either, so we kind of got the separation there. I think what I need to try this time is to run the drill a little bit harder. All right. Hope you enjoyed that video about how I shelled my lima beans. That should work for lima beans. It would work for any kind of dried bean, I think. I think it would work really well for black-eyed peas, field peas, zipper cream peas, purple hull peas, anything like that that you can let dry and then put them in the bucket and then use the drill with the fancy dancy reaping, the threshing bit on that. So in the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, which is a book about wisdom, practical wisdom for life, in the 6th chapter of Proverbs, there's a little expression in there. It says, look at the ants. Look how wise the ants are. Now you look at the ant, you think, well, that's not a very smart animal at all. It's just an insect. The brain's probably the size of a grain of sand or even smaller. But wisdom is not necessarily about knowledge or intelligence. Wisdom is about doing the right thing in the right way at the right time for the right reasons. And ants have got that down pat, according to Proverbs. It says, look at the ants. They don't, they work hard all summer. They store up food for the winter, and then they have all that they need. I'm paraphrasing here, but look it up in the 6th chapter of Proverbs. The ants, they store up some food all summer long. They work hard, and then they have what they need all summer long. And then the Proverbs goes on and says, look at you, lazy bones. Why are you sleeping all the time? Get up and get to work. And here I am videoing right now, and it's 7:57, but I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I normally get up about 5 o'clock, but this morning I woke up extra early, and so I decided to work on this video. But I do a lot of different things, and one of the reasons I can do so many of these different things, like working in the garden, building things in my shop, and just doing things like that, the reason is, well, one, first of all, I'm very blessed to have a job as a pastor where I work hard. I work hard and I work a lot of hours, but my schedule is flexible, so that frees me up with extra time to do some things. Plus, I can do some things while I'm praying and while I'm meditating and while I'm preparing for sermons and things like that. I can do other things that are hard. I like to do hard labor things because it actually, working with my hands and working with my body gives me space to let my mind either decompress or pray and think about things. And so I can do a lot, and I'm blessed to have a job that allows me to do that. But another reason is because I get up early. I don't sleep a lot. Now, different people are, everybody's different. Some people need more rest than others. But the older I get, it seems like the less sleep I need. If I can get 5 or 6 hours of sleep, I actually feel good and refreshed and ready to go. If I sleep longer than that, it actually makes me feel bad, get sore. And so I find myself, a few years ago, I found myself laying in the bed, trying to force myself to sleep when my body was like tired of being in the bed. And then it just dawned on me, why am I doing this? Just get up. Once I wake up and I feel rested, I get up. If I'm tossing and turning back and forth in the bed, then I don't need to be there anymore. So I just get on up. And I found this amazing with an extra couple of hours in the morning, 2, maybe 3 hours in the morning. That's some of my most productive time. I love that time. Usually I'm the only one that's up. Everybody else is still asleep. And I have that extra time to do whatever I want. In the summer, when it gets light outside earlier, I can go outside and work in the garden. I can water. I can, do whatever. So that few extra hours when I used to be sleeping, it's just been such a productive time. It's a good, quiet time for me to spend time with the Lord. And it's also time when I can do stuff in the kitchen, do stuff in the garden, do stuff in the shop, whatever I need to do. And so I'm very thankful for that. So, think about, what do you want to spend your life doing? Now, in order to be healthy, we all need rest. And I certainly wouldn't encourage anyone to not get enough rest. But if you are sleeping too much, you're wasting your life and you're wasting time that you could be productive. People ask me all the time, well, when do I have time to pray? When do I have time to read the Bible? Well, you have to learn to make good use of your time. What are you doing with your time? Are you watching mindless television? How many hours of time do you spend reading television or watching television? Maybe you should use that time instead to pray, read your Bible, or do something productive. Are you sleeping all the time? Now, like I said, it's important to get a good, healthy amount of sleep. But listen to what your body's saying. Are you tossing and turning? Are you waking up and then going back to sleep and then waking up again and then going back to sleep? Maybe that time could be better spent doing something productive. Go ahead and get up. Get up and start waking up. Pray, read your Bible, do something productive. Go for a walk, get some exercise. You know, all of those kinds of things. Don't waste your time. Use your time. What about when you're driving in your car? You know, most people have to drive to work. It takes me, in the morning, it takes me about 20 minutes to get from my house to my church. What am I doing in that time? Am I just driving in silence? Am I listening to music? You have apps on your phone now where you can actually listen to the Bible on your phone or on your car stereo while you're driving. Make productive use of your time. Do you go for a walk every day? Do you exercise? What do you do? What do you listen to while you exercise? You could listen to the Bible. You could listen to a book. You could, listen to some spiritual music that gets you thinking about God and spending time with the Lord. So one of the things I try to do is try to combine things together so that I can be most efficient and effective. In the morning, usually when I get up and I'm drinking my coffee, I might be watching the local news. That's time that I might just be sitting on the couch doing nothing. But this summer, what I've been doing a lot is shelling field peas or cream peas while I'm watching TV. So you can put those things together and you can be a much more effective person. You can get a lot more done. So take a lesson from the ants and don't be lazy. Work hard. Store up some food. Store up something, some nourishment in your soul. And when crises come in people's lives, all of a sudden, that's when they start praying. And that's okay. You should pray when you're going through a difficult time. But if that's the only time you're praying, you're really not preparing yourself. The best time to prepare yourself for crisis spiritually is before it happens. Be storing up spiritual nourishment in your soul when everything's going well, when everything's easy in life. And then when the hard times come, you will already have a storehouse of spiritual energy. You will have a deep relationship with God that you developed in good times that will help you and carry you in the bad times. Because let me tell you, when things get hard and difficult, when something terrible happens in your life, or when a sickness or an illness or a disaster befalls you, sure, you can start praying then, but you're already behind the curve. You need to be working ahead so that you're ready to go. You already have things stored up. Just like I've got beans stored up now in the freezer and dried beans in mason jars, and I've got things canned and put away in my pantry. I've got food and stuff to last me. It may not last me, all through the entire winter. I don't need that because I can go to the grocery store. But even more than that physical nourishment, what about that spiritual nourishment? Are you storing up things that will carry you, provide for you spiritually when you need them? Think about that. Well, thanks, folks, everybody, for joining me on this garden update. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun watching it. And thank you so much for being here. Look forward to seeing you again next time. God bless.